Hello students, I am Miss Therese Nairn, and our reading comprehension lesson today will be on author's purpose. What do you know about the author's purpose for writing? Well, don't worry. By the end of this lesson today, you will be able to 1. State what author's purpose is. 2. List and explain the 3 main reasons an author writes. 3. Identify author's purpose in given passages. Let's begin. What is author's purpose, you may ask? Well, the author's purpose is the reason why an author writes. It is the reason why authors write books, stories, textbooks, and magazine articles. Those are just a few examples of what authors write about. There are 3 main reasons why an author writes. An author writes to persuade, to inform, to entertain. A quick and easy way to remember these reasons, students, is to learn this phrase. It's easy as pie. Each letter in the word pie stands for a reason. Doesn't that pie look delicious? We are now going to look more closely at each reason an author writes. First up, students, is persuade. When an author writes to persuade, they are attempting to convince the reader of something. They express their opinion and try to convince the reader their opinion is correct. An example of persuasive writing would be an advertisement in a magazine, on television, or on the internet to convince people to buy a certain product. Some examples of these products are computers, such as an Apple, Kentucky Fried Chicken, it's finger-licking good. Starbucks, looks like a caramel frappuccino to me. And a particular brand of clothing like Nautica. Another reason an author writes is to inform. When an author writes to inform, they provide the reader with information or facts about a specific topic. Can you think of any books that provide you with factual information? Remember that facts are statements that can be proven true. Some examples of informative writing can be found in textbooks, non-fiction books, newspaper articles, and of biographies of people whom we know. Students, just remember from a previous lesson that non-fiction books tell us facts about the world around us, and a biography is a non-fictional account of a person's life told by another author. The third reason an author writes is to entertain. When an author writes to entertain, they are trying to provide entertainment for the reader. When we read a good book, it can cause us to cry and/or make us sad. It can be hilarious and make us laugh, or it can get us mad as a result of a character's actions. I want you to know that authors usually entertain readers through fiction books, descriptive stories, and poetry. You have done such a great job of following along so far. Give yourselves a pat on the back. Now, it's time to see if you can use what you have learned today to recognize author's purpose in some short passages. Remember, it's going to be easy as pie. You got this. Your instructions are as follows, students. What is the author's purpose for writing this? Follow along as I read and use what you know to figure out the author's purpose. It's new. It's Slurpee soda. It's refreshing. This is the best soda in the world. If you drink this soda, you will jump higher, run faster, and be smarter in school. Try one today. What do you think the author's purpose is, students? If you said the author is trying to persuade you, then you are right. The author is trying to convince you to buy a soda by telling you how it can make you better somehow. Great job so far. There are 2 more passages to go. Please read along as I read the passage to you. Remember, you are looking for clues to help you understand the reason the author wrote this passage. Kate and her brother Justin were playing with the water hose outside one day. Justin was hiding from Kate so she wouldn't squirt him with the water. The back door opened and Kate pointed the water hose toward the door. It was Mom, and she was dripping wet. What is the author's purpose, students? If you said that the author's purpose was to entertain, you are definitely correct. This is a humorous story that happened when 2 siblings decided to play with the water hose. Well, you can say humorous to some, but it could be annoying to others. Super job, students. This is the 3rd and final passage. Follow along as I read it to you. Remember to look for clues to help you figure out the author's purpose. First, turn up the hem and press it into place. Then, turn under a small edge on the inside of the hem. Press that too. Next, pin the hem in place. Then thread a needle. Sew the hem in place. Use longer stitches on the inside and smaller stitches on the outside. That way, the stitches will barely show. What is the author doing in this passage, students? If you said the author is giving information about how to stitch a hem, you have found the clue to help you to figure out the author's purpose. So, if you said the author's purpose was to inform, you are correct. Excellent job, students. We are almost to the end of our lesson today. Time to review. It's time to review what we have learned in our lesson today, students. We learned that the author's purpose is the reason why an author writes. We also learned that there are 3 main reasons why an author writes. The first reason is to persuade. Remember, the author is trying to convince the reader of something. The second reason an author writes is to inform. Remember, this is when the author is giving factual information to readers. And the third reason an author writes is to entertain. Remember, this is when the author is trying to get us to feel certain emotions. The phrase, "it's easy as pie," will help you to remember each of these reasons. You have done a superb job today, students. I am so proud of you. Watch out for my next reading comprehension lesson. Goodbye for now, and take care.